Good evening. An investigation launched by Kitscoty RCMP helped nab an Alberta man who's facing charges in 4 different provinces. Police located an abandoned vehicle at an oil lease site south of Lloydminster on Wednesday. It belonged to an Edmonton woman who traveled to Ontario to escape her former fiancé. Kitscoty officers determined a trail of stolen vehicles leading into Saskatchewan were connected to the accused, who was trying to get to Ontario. A Western Canada bulletin was issued. The suspect, Joshua Brockington, was arrested in Manitoba after allegedly committing a home invasion and ramming a police cruiser with a stolen vehicle. He's facing several charges. Today marked another day of protests outside the Alberta legislature. Protesters are voicing opposition against proposed budget cuts to the Persons with Developmental Disabilities program. As Clayton Brown explains, concerns are also heating up locally, as the deadline for the cuts is only 3 weeks away.
SPAN, the St. Paul Abilities Network, has been operating in the town for nearly 50 years, providing much-needed support for many residents.
And we've kind of worked to develop supports and services for people with brain injury, people with developmental disabilities, people who are moving out of mental health care into community supports, that kind of thing.
SPAN employs around 180 workers. Bear says up to 20 positions would need to be cut after being informed by their regional office they would lose 27% of their budget if the government goes ahead with the potential funding cuts.
That's over $1 million for a small town like St. Paul. Has a huge impact. Services will be lost. There's no question.
If he can prove that his clients need that level of funding, he's going to get that level of funding. And so we're saying you're spending taxpayers' money. You need to be able to prove that that money is benefiting the individual.
Bear feels the government should be working closely with the service providers, but Lescue says she was personally involved in consultations throughout Alberta just a year ago.
We went around the province talking to families, clients, and service providers to see what it is that's needed out there.
The cuts will begin to be implemented July 1st. In St. Paul, Clayton Brown, Newcap News.
It may have been a gloomy day in the border city, but the spirits of those at the Lloydminster and Area Brain Injury Society were the opposite. June is Brain Injury Awareness Month, and Labus kicked it off with a barbecue. Brain injury can happen to anyone, from severe concussions, car accidents, and more.
One of the things we really want to get people to understand about brain injury is stroke. Most people don't understand that a stroke is a brain injury, and that's kind of what we're going to focus on this month.
Proceeds from today's event go to Labus.
Our goal is that nobody ever has a brain injury again. So hopefully this will bring awareness and maybe some fundraising that will help us move in that direction.
For more information on Labus or to donate, you can visit their website. Former Deputy Prime Minister and MP Don Mazankowski was a special guest at the Lakeland Convocation this afternoon. Mazankowski accepted the Distinguished Citizen Award for his contributions to the college and area. Bart Pedyasek reports.
It was a full house at the Lloydminster campus as graduates and friends and family filled the gym to celebrate. But they weren't the only special guests in the house. Don Mazankowski accepted an award on behalf of Lakeland College. A big honor, he says, as he's been a part of the college in one way or another for the last 50 years.
I saw this college blossom and grow. I saw it develop its traditions and its commitment to the industries that are part and parcel of this region.
Daryl Howell has known Mazankowski since the then Deputy Prime Minister helped set up the Lloydminster Upgrader.
He really changed my opinion, I guess, about politicians. He is honorable, as the name says, but tremendously competent, high level of commitment, and really very courageous.
Howell says Mazankowski's impact on politics can be still felt today.
I should be careful what I say because I have some friends who are politicians, but I think a lot of politicians could learn a lot from remembering what Don did and how he conducted himself.
And when Phil Allen first told the 77-year-old about the award, he said he wouldn't miss it for the world.
He basically indicated he was honored, and he said, I just have to warn you, I'm not real well right now, but short of being on my deathbed, I'm so honored I will be there.
Now living in Sherwood Park, Manhunt is still a member of the board for various organizations, including the Edmonton Heart Center that shares his namesake.
I do some work in the educational field, in the health field, and try to stay out of trouble.
As for Lakeland College, he says he's proud of how far it's come.
Lakeland College is well positioned and well anchored to perform likewise in the next 100 years. I only wish that I could be around to witness it.
Bart Pediasic, Newcap News.